Luke Shaw is a no-show in tomorrow's game against Manchester City after the travelling squad missed the England left-back who is never fit to play for Man United but somehow is fit to play for England at the Euros. Meanwhile, I have got an update as well concerning the issues to do with Aaron Wan-Bissaka and his pending departure to Westham United. He too is not in the squad. Is he injured or is it something else? World Sport. My name is Webb. Here is again the evening or late night. You can call it that, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. All that matters is that today is a Friday, and it's a good feeling, honestly, when we, take the week on by storm. It's only disappointing that some stories that I expected to happen have not happened. Honestly, I expected some significant progress when it comes to certain signings like Nusail Mazraoui, but of course, that's because partly I was forgetting how crazy the John Matters and Richard Arnolds had left us, in deep waters because players have contracts that will take so long to undo. So that's why we are still stuck with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. But let's get into it. So, uh, uh, Luke Shaw, who I've read a stat today somewhere that Luke Shaw has missed 44% of games for Man United since joining from Southampton in 2014. Now, listen, guys, I know, just like I believe most of you know, Luke Shaw is one of the best left backs in the world. I think since he joined, there was no questions about his potential, his ability to come out there and turn up and be a world beater. I think when he's fully fit, he's world class. There is no doubt about his potential. But look, guys, Manchester United is not Manchester United NGO, Manchester United charitable organization. If you're not fit, however good you are, even if you're the mighty Ronaldinho, for as long as you're not fit, you're not good enough. Unless you can't be like Ronaldinho, like Ronaldo Dalima, who used to endure and play through the pain. Ronaldo was playing injured with pain almost, I think, 70% of his career. But somehow he was banging in goals. In fact, many people believe, had it been for the injuries, he should be the clearest of all time without a shadow of a doubt. But football has changed today. Not so many footballers are willing to take the pain to make the dime. Not so many of them are willing to do it. Lately, players, little pain, complaints here and there, and you're out of it. Listen, Luke Shaw, we love Luke Shaw, but the guy is earning £150,000 per week to be injured, to do absolutely nothing. And we're struggling with defenders. We are pretending to have a left back who is one of the best in Europe, but he's never fit. It doesn't matter how good you are. For as long as you're never fit, you're not good enough. So we love Luke Shaw, but please move on. Is the squad, so that creates space for other left backs who are going to be fit, who will. And I mean, it's not his making; it's against his wish. I'm not saying he wants to be injured, but I mean, it is what it is. It's not a charity organization. Luke Shaw, for me, I think we should be giving up on him. I'm even surprised that he's not one of those we are talking about letting go. Of course, maybe because no one can buy an injured player. But for me, Shaw, disappointment again. Well, unless Eric Ten Hag is keeping him, not risking him, but keeping him for the new season, keeping him for Fulham. But if it is still because of the injuries that we, like Eric Ten Hag hinted before, it is sad. It is so sad. But of course, people will question about his. There will be questions about his mentality and desire to play for Man United because he played at the Euros, to the surprise of everyone. But anyhow, just as Luke Shaw is, is not fit, I think it's an opportunity for the young Harry Amass to come out and step up. And I actually low-key think it's a blessing in disguise. They say that wherever there is a bad thing, something good is embedded, and if you're positive minded for the good. Now, the good in the absence of Luke Shaw is the fact that the young Harry Amass is going to get an opportunity, probably, and I'm hoping that is what Eric Ten Hag does because, I mean, if Aaron Wan-Bissaka is not there, Diogo Dalot is with the team, what do you do if Harry Amass is the only traveling left back? So my feeling is he will be getting a chance to start, and honestly, I think Harry Amass is a better uh, a far far better player than a half fit Luke Shaw. This boy is young, but he is indeed ready to play. So for me, I don't even think we really need to buy a marquee left back. Trust Harry Amas, let him make the baby errors, hoping that the senior players close to him, like Lisandro Martinez, will help him through it as he grows. But for me, it's a big time opportunity. I hope to see him play. Now, the other update is on Aaron Wan Bissaka. So Wan Bissaka is not in the team, and there's people who think it's because he's injured. Of course, I think those are the naive ones. I personally think it's all got to do with the deal with West Ham. I said it in my pre-match, in my preview, my probable starting 11 earlier in the previous video. I said it, I think the first video of today, I said it that I think for me, the smart thing for Eric Ten Hag to do would be not to carry Aaron Wan-Bissaka with him, because if you're not planning to be with him for long, why are you playing him in on the penultimate game of before the start of the season, or the last game for us to start the season? You don't need him. So try the players you're going to be playing with. This is a good opportunity, a good preseason game to be playing the best club probably in Europe, or probably in the Premier League. So for me, I think it's a smart thing, whatever the reason, but also it's a good way statement to Ella that, you know what, you're holding out for more money, but we don't need you, man. We're tired of you. We don't want you. I think if he has got any emotion in him, he will feel not wanted, and no player wants to be where they're not wanted. So maybe that will help him quicken his decision to move on, go find another lover. But away from that, not that of course Wan Bissaka is leaving on bad terms. I think he would have left as a hero if there are any in United lately, hadn't it been, how it's ending, it's turning out. Because the reality is, whereas many United supporter wanted him to go, there is quite a number who are feeling like, Wan Bissaka should have been, say, Spider One was okay. He shouldn't be leaving. There are people actually up to now who think Wan Bissaka is a better defender than Diogo Dalot. But the decision has been made, and Nusa Mazraoui is the future. And you see, we as fans move on so fast. Where the club points, we go. Where Ineos points, we follow. I mean, in Ineos, we trust. So Ineos are saying, Nusair Mazraoui is the it. So Aaron Wan-Bissaka, pack them bags, man. But again, the man is looking out, holding out for his own. But what we know is that the talks are still ongoing with West Ham. They are good talks. They are only waiting for Manchester United to find, I think, a point of agreement with Wan-Bissaka and his representatives. Then they will be ready to come in. So they are patient with Man United. I think there's a clear communication between the two parties, and it's a good thing to see that the expectations of West Ham are being managed. Otherwise, they could easily drop off after getting Todibo and the likes. But also the arrival of Todibo, everyone Bissaka would want to play next to Todibo. It should motivate him to want to go and join West Ham. Now, that is that. Now on the transfers, still, guys, the deal, or the Manuel Ugarte deal, was never off. I don't know how many times I need to emphasize this. That deal was never off. It was never off. And of course, United has spoken to or inquired about all these other midfielders and stuff, but I think you needed Fabrizio Romano to say it. He has said it, but I've been saying it. I think in every video I drop, I keep emphasizing that the one Bissaka, rather the Emmanuel Ugarte deal is not off. It has never been off. It was just Man United saying, if you are not lowering your expectation, PSG, we will walk out. But our offer, we are still interested in the player, but only until you are ready to come out and listen, and and lower your expectations. So the deal was never off. So Don Manuel can still be a Man United player, and that doesn't mean though that all the other players that Man United has been inquiring about and perhaps spoken to on personal terms can never join United because Ugarte may come. No, it's a possibility that Man United Ineos are planning for the future. Remember, Sir Jim Ratcliffe told us this is going to be probably 5 window, transition. So the 5 windows are planned for early. I mean, so don't be there thinking that they are just wasting the times of the Sander Badge of this world and all these other players were being linked with. So there's a possibility that these players could come, but guys, the Manuel Ugarte deal is not off. It hasn't been off. It has just, taken stalled a bit because of valuation, but it can still happen. I needed to emphasize that, guys. That's what I think. But tomorrow, I mean, of course, I will be here early to talk more about the game. But for me, the excitement is to see 3 players: Harry Amass, Amad Diallo, and Joshua Zirkzee. I think there is reason for us to be excited going into this game, and I'm hoping that it turns out to be good for Man United. Anthony has sent a warning saying that, hey, you know what? This is the season where I'm going to show up. This season my name is going to be associated with goals and assists. And I'm thinking, which kind of Brazilian is this? Talks too much. Brazilians play more than they talk. Anyhow, that was Anthony for you, assuring us that he wants to stay with United. I want to get you an image of the tunnel. I'm sure I haven't showed, probably, I don't know whether I've seen it before, but this is the tunnel, the new Man United tunnel, and how it looks after pimping it. And of course, that's painting really. It's largely paint and a few lights, mood lights put around just to create a good ambience. Of course, it's not comparable to the ones we saw at the Euros where, guys even, players take elevators to move from the dressing rooms to, man, it's very interesting how, stadiums are set up in Germany. But this is, I think, better than what we had. At least, whereas Ineos are planning building a new stadium altogether, at least you love the festives they are giving to Old Trafford. So that's the tunnel. I mean, I stepped in it. I have memories in that place, but I mean, it was not what I expected. The feeling wasn't as surreal as it would have been. Probably this will give me motivation to go back there and also see more of what they are doing behind the scenes. So, guys, I do remind you to become members of the United Sport. When you do become members, as the season starts, of course, we're going to be getting special offers for members. And of course, it's those memberships are what help me, of course, improve the stuff I do, but also go further and get more contacts within the club to be able to come and give you more good and credible stories, not just sitting here and waiting for what everyone says and I come. No, most of the stories, by the way, I think I've been ahead of most of the stories to give it to myself, but it's of course not to give it to myself really. It's God, that's one, but also the contacts I was able to make at Old Trafford. There are stories I feel proud of. Really, I say thank you, God. I was able to get ahead of this, and somehow Fabrizio, the king, or David Onsten came and confirmed it. But yeah, it feels good. A few stories there, you look ahead and it happens. It feels good. Shows you that your sources are credible. So guys, subscribe if you haven't, like and share. Trust you me, this season is going to get on to a whole different level. But that's of course that's it.